Teachers across the country are among those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and associated lockdown effects. Teachers were among the first group to be sent home in March 2020 when the country took measures aimed at nipping the spread of the virus in the bud. While teachers in urban areas, especially Kampala and Wachiso, managed to stay in active employment by conducting online classes, this hasn't been the case with teachers in rural Uganda. Months into the lockdown and with no hope of opening schools soon, Swadik Mukulia, a South Sudanese refugee, and Zainabu Chandiru, who are teachers at Mengo Primary School in Yumbe district, decided to make good use of the land allocated to them at the settlement. Mukulia interested fellow teachers about the ongoing livelihood project rolled out by ADRA Uganda. These have so far planted the Nerika rice variety on 13 acres.
We sat down with my fellow teachers and we come up with this project of rice growing.
Because the little money which we have got from our salary is not help us to do some other works.
Swadik also called upon fellow teachers affected by the lockdown to stop wallowing about the current condition, but rather venture into productive activities.
Schools will be opened. It will get us when we have put something aside which will help us better than the teachers who are staying at home doing nothing, and sometimes even others. There are some teachers who are doing things which are not needed. I expect like 10 tons, and these 10 tons, if we shall sell them, approximately we shall get like 35 million or 40.
William Asio is the Assistant Settlement Commandant from the Office of the Prime Minister at Bidi Bidi Settlement, and he says farming activities have helped refugees on their food rations.
Funding is always very small, yet the population we have is big. For example, Bidi Bidi Refugee Settlement is hosting over 235,000 refugees. Zone 3 alone has about 52,000.
Sambu Sinje, who is the project coordinator working with ADRA Uganda, says priority was given to those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic.
The groups that have been supported with agriculture seeds have managed to establish the gardens. These gardens will be able to provide food for the communities. As you well know that most of the ratios have been cut down by 60%. So by supporting these groups with seeds and the agriculture tools, they're able to supplement the food ratios at home.
The Program for Education Advocacy and Child Education is a 14-month livelihood project promoted by the Adventist Relief Agency in Uganda that puts emphasis on inclusive education, livelihood, empowerment, and psychosocial support.
This is a pilot program, but we have already thought about coming up with another 3-year program for supporting the vulnerable young people, especially the South Sudanese refugees, but also the host community. Because according to the government of Uganda and Office of the Prime Minister, we have what we call REHOP. REHOP is a Refugee and Host Community Empowerment Program, which connotates and suggests that 30% of the support from the partners must go towards supporting the host communities, because this influx also increases the vulnerability of the host community and leave them more poor and challenged.
Ngabo Amon, reporting for Yumbe TV.